Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick here dropping in on you. Hope everybody has had an unbelievable week. I hope that the things you set out to do, you were able to accomplish. But I want you to revisit and be reminded of what I share constantly. And that is if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. So even if it doesn't look like you want it to look, if it doesn't feel like you want it to feel, if it isn't happening at the rate or the speed you would like it to. If you are still breathing, you are still in the fight. If you don't remember anything else from what I share with you today, remember that. Don't give up on your vision. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your aspirations and your goals because it doesn't look like you think it should look right now. You focus on doing what you're supposed to be doing. You focus on being where you're supposed to be. You focus on thinking the way you are supposed to think. I promise you that the design of this universe by the grand designer has never failed to return to you what you plant. But what you have to do is be persistent in watering the seeds of your thoughts. Your thoughts are the seeds of your destiny. You cannot escape it no matter what faith you practice, no matter how you see the source, whether you call it God, the universe, it doesn't matter. What does matter to you is that you operate within the confines of the faith you do hold. In other words, you can't say you believe something, but you're moving, behaving, and thinking as if you don't truly hold to those beliefs. You're not honoring your faith. You're not honoring your design. You're not honoring what you should be becoming because you are allowing external circumstances, situations, and momentary and temporal uh, perceptions to shape your expectations, and God will only meet you at the level of your expectations. So, again, I want to encourage you to step out there and go after it. This is going to be a real brief encounter, but I do want you to pay attention for those who aren't able to stay around for the entire 5 to 7 minutes beyond this point. Look in the description box and there's an explanation, and you can come back and check it out, or you can just take action. Look, years ago I began to really truly study faith and how it operates and how God designed us to operate. I moved in from psychology to spirituality to quantum physics to embodied cognition to transformative vocabulary. As a man thinks, so is he. Self-talk, all of these different things, understanding the importance of being able to reprogram your subconscious to overcome limiting beliefs, all down the line. And the simplicity of visualization is what I want to talk about on Focus Friday today. What are you focusing on? Whatever you focus on, you feel. Whatever you give the most attention to, you give power to. If you're focusing on lack and scarcity, the opportunities to generate and create abundance will escape you. Why? Because you are focused on what isn't there. And by so focusing on it, you are empowering it. It's becoming bigger and bigger the more attention you give to it. So what do? You shift your focus, you shift your attention, you move from the problem to the solution, you move from where you are coming from to where you are going. You literally aim your thoughts and your processes. And there's this thing called visualization. Visualization isn't simply thinking of ideas, images, and wishful thinking. Visualization is a focused practice that I teach my clients, that I've written about in my books, that I have put in the Mind Unleashed course. And what visualization is, it is the focused practice of literally rewriting the narrative of your perceived reality to match what you desire at a level that the images evoke emotional response, because the emotions are what anchor it. And when you create this, you create, here's the scientific part, you create new neural pathways You release neurotransmitters like oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin. You release these chemicals do an imprint and anchor. And this is why these neurons, these neurotransmitters that are released are the reason why your brain, God designed your brain so that it could not distinguish between what you imagine and what you're actually experiencing. And these neurotransmitters are how the brain is tricked, because if I think about something at a deep enough level, I'm not just imagining it in the sense of seeing an image. I'm imagining it as if I already have it, and it will trigger the release of these neurotransmitters, and it will open up new neural pathways that are in opposition of the other pathways that focused on lack and scarcity. And at that moment, I have created an experience. I've never physically experienced it, but in my mind I have. And because I've experienced it, and because it's the focus, the mind begins to shape the thinking surrounding the focus. The mind begins to create a frequency, vibration, and energy aligned with what I say I want. And remember, energy is what resonant. Resonance means that it attracts like energy. It resonates with things that are on the same frequency. And what we know now is that our thoughts have frequency. So if I'm thinking about lack or scarcity, I'm probably in the range of anxiety and worry. How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to get out of this? Probably of frustration and anger. Or if I'm sitting up and I'm wondering about what somebody did to me, I'm probably angry, hostile, bitter. If I'm looking at somebody that has more than me and I can't explain or understand how they got it and I can, I'm probably floating around in jealousy or envy. All of those have a Hertz frequency of under 200, and nothing negative, low vibrational. It actually attacks the body. When you have low frequency energy, you are emitting a frequency and triggering biological responses that are not healthy. Stress related issues and sicknesses come from these thoughts and these emotions that we harbor. And there's a lot of truth to worried sick. You got to understand that. But when you move up to gratitude, the idea of being thankful and grateful for what you do have, thankful and grateful for the opportunities that are in front of you, thankful and grateful for what will come, thankful and grateful for the opportunity to do something exceptional, extraordinary, and phenomenal today, regardless of what happened yesterday. See, it's not about what is happening or finding a way to stop negative things from happening. Success isn't the accomplishment of things because of the lack of adversity. Success is the accomplishment of things despite the adversity that you have to endure. And you have to learn how to rig your perception of what you're going through in a way that you understand that it cannot stop you. And so then you go through these processes, but you get the gratitude. Gratitude is 500 hertz. At 500 hertz, you are already over 460 hertz. 460 hertz is what we have discovered, that at that frequency, the body automatically will start to heal. This is it's just real. It's unbelievable how your mental state is creating a physiological reality, and it can be healthy or it can be or it can be unhealthy, and you're in control of it because you control your thoughts. You, even though you're having 70,000 plus thoughts a day running in your subconscious, what you choose to focus on with your conscious is what's going to dictate which of those 70,000 thoughts actually move to the surface and impact your subconscious behavior. And this is the power of this thing. I can't explain it all and get all to it in one thing, but what I want you to understand is you have the power to literally sit there and, in a practice of disciplined engagement. This isn't randomly stopping and thinking, man, it'll be a nice to have this. No, it's to sit down and literally, what is it that I truly want in my relationships? What is it that I want in my career? What is it that I want in my finances? Do I want to start and run a business or businesses? Do I want to travel? Where do I want to live? All these things are things you should have a clear vision and image of what it looks like, because when you can vision that image, You can literally trigger the emotions that remind you of the reality that you've experienced constantly and consistently when you do this over time. This is not magic. This is not some hocus pocus. This is literally how faith works. This is how God designed. The universe cannot resist your faith. Now, the problem is faith is not only positive, faith is a neutral reality. Faith is whatever you believe is going to happens, as in the biblical point in Numbers where the children of Israel said they could not go into the land because there were giants over there. And God said, go back, Moses, and tell them, as they have spoken in my hearing, so shall I do to them. Faith is neutral. Faith is what you believe. So if you are constantly believing that I'm never going to get out of poverty, you won't. If you constantly believe that you're never going to be in a situation to experience love, you won't. If you constantly believe you're locked into a job you hate, you are. But if you decide that I'm going to walk out of this thing better than I came in, today I'm going to go to sleep better than I woke up. I am going to embrace a new idea, a new possibility. The exploration of possibilities opens the lid of anything that's blocking you, because the moment you start to think something is possible, it's not important at that moment that you know how it's possible, but just believing it's possible removes the ceiling. And at that moment, you can begin to explore movement. You can begin to explore uh, interactions with others. You can begin to explore strategies and plans, but you are now pursuing the thing that once appeared to be impossible. You got to think, flying in any type of instrument for a man at one time was considered impossible. Running the mile in under 4 minutes for a man was one time considered impossible. The idea that someone could sit up and talk to a screen and people around the world could hear them and listen to them, and if they wanted to respond in comment fields, was once considered impossible. And now it's reality. There's no such thing as impossible, only if you believe. So you have to be willing to explore beyond what you've experienced. You've got to shake those limiting beliefs, get from behind the things that have happened in the past and say, there's a future I haven't experienced, but I'm going to write it on the tablets of my mind. And as I write it, the vision becomes clear and plain. And as it becomes clear and plain, I can search it out. I can walk it out. I can stand in it. It is where you begin to make things that are impossible become possible. I invite you to do that. Look, inside the description box is an opportunity, two opportunities. The rare opportunity to work with me on one-on-one. Again, I'm not cheap. I'm just not. I deliver, and that's the thing I promise. But you can work with me. If that's not going to work for you, there's also our online course called The Mind Unleashed. And in there, we go over visualization. We go over a bunch of different things that allow you to overcome your limiting beliefs, allow you to overcome procrastination, which is the thief of time and opportunities, and so much more. I encourage you to take advantage of it. Look in the description box and act now. On that note, look, I've got to get off here. I have a client in just a couple of minutes, but I wanted to share with you before I got on. And on that note, look, as I always say, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. Look for me a lot more this weekend. I'm going to be coming to you just sharing love, sharing insight, sharing opportunities, sharing what I've been doing in this world of rewriting narratives and creating your future for 30 years. I'm going to share it with you in love and hopefully edify, lift you, encourage you, inspire you. But on that note, I'm getting off. You guys have an unbelievable remainder of your day.